Welcome. It is Wednesday. We're recording. Okay, super. Welcome, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 10th at 7:08 p.m. And I'd like to call the July regularly scheduled meeting of the New Canaan Parking Commission to order. Do I have a motion to call the meeting to order? Kevin? Yeah, Katie. Sounds good. All right, so the quorum at least is here, which is good. And the first order of business is to approve, did we do the roll call? No, we know the roll call. We're here. It's Katie, Kevin, and myself. We also need a motion to approve the minutes that Stacy had sent around earlier from last month's special meeting. So do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I make one.
Katie.
Katie.
All right.
Second.
All right. You know, I printed out everything except, no, here we are. All right. So now what we've got is Marnie Miller with us this evening to appeal her parking violation. We got a copy of that. It was difficult for me to see from the PDF, the actual picture, but I did read the narrative that Marnie wrote as well as the officer. Do we want to hear Marnie discuss it, or should we just go since we've read it? If we have all read it, I do have some questions.
So usually if Marnie has something to add to her appeal, then she can actually share what, you know, a little bit more, or if everything in the appeal is what it states, then you guys could follow up with questions.
All right.
I don't have much to add. I just, you know, I came to pay register my dogs, and it was hot, so I popped across the street. And then when I came back, I got I came in to pay, and the dogs were nothing worked that day. They had left for the day, and then I got the ticket, and I was kind of surprised.
Oh, the department.
The department. So I came back another day, but I got this ticket within 2 seconds.
So what time was it?
I think it was
3:21.
3 something.
Yeah.
So-
Do those offices close?
So what has happened, just to make you aware, is that it's come to the town hall's attention that there are a lot of people using that parking lot for business other than town hall, meaning they're going other places. They're going to stretch like Pilates classes, they're going to eat. And the parking lot has been very full. And we have been told to monitor it more frequently, and to keep an eye out for people who are not coming into town hall.
Yeah.
So obviously the officer observed you not going into town hall initially,
I understand.
like a lot of people don't do, but
Sure.
so, you know, went back out and ticketed it. So even though, you know, yes, the lot can be used after hours, at the time, we're still monitoring, and it's monitored up until the time.
What are after hours for the town hall?
Town hall closes at 3:30.
Okay,
So,
okay.
you know, coming in after that.
So we're
Yes.
basically 8. Yeah, we
Yes,
have 9 minutes.
We're trying to let people know that even, you know, that they have to just be there, especially now it's tax time. So the lot is, we need the spaces. So, you know, that's what happened.
Is the ticket 327 or 321?
321, okay. 321. So
Right.
that is the reasoning behind we are watching when we come into a lot more frequently. We are watching where people go when they get out of their vehicles and things like that.
Right.
But since I had business here, I didn't even think that, you know, I was trying to support the town.
Absolutely, and we didn't know,
Of
you know,
course,
again,
I
so.
totally get it. I totally get it.
I personally am inclined leniency because you did have business you were doing here, right? And you just went to get something to drink before you came in. That's just.
Right. I mean, my question was going to be, did she do, you know, did you get the license? Because then obviously we would know, you know, that you went into town hall and it was a matter of 6
Yeah.
minutes, you parked and went to Greenology and then came back and,
You didn't know they closed at 3:30.
No, they'd actually closed at 3, which
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't even know. So I came back the following week and did not get a Greenology drink and didn't get my license, so.
yeah, I mean, I went there once and it was on a Friday, so I guess they close at 2:30 on Fridays. At least
Yeah,
that
well,
particular
yes,
day.
the town hall closes at 1:30, yeah, so they'll stay
Right.
open a little bit later, but not as late as a full day.
Right, yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I think that, again, if we were gonna get forensic about this, there's probably CCTV, cameras that can show Marnie walking up to the door, at not knowing she had yet been ticketed, but coming in with her drink from Greenology and going and trying to, get her dog license. So I don't think we need to do that. I think we can take her at her word here. And I do believe, as Katie said, that, we have a matter of minutes here between, if, in fact, parking at 3:15, coming back, the ticket was at 3:21, both stamped on the ticket as well as the time on the officer's report. We're talking about a 9-minute, window after which the parking would not be monitored. And, all of those factors for me just lead me to say, let's let this one go, because
I just want to interject here, even if, the timing was different, I still would be inclined, if she was coming here on legitimate business, but she decided she wanted to run across the street to Greenology, I'm okay with that. Maybe not, go get your hair colored or whatever, but, yeah, I'm still okay with that. I mean, should our position be that, and maybe it is, I'm new, but if you wanted to run over to Greenology, you have to leave this parking space, even though it's right across the street, and go find another space. I don't. But
no, I don't think so. She could have been going in for a meeting and wanting to get a refreshment to go sit down for an hour and a half, So I think anybody's.
We are not as strict as that. The thing was, we didn't know of the follow-up.
we don't want
So-
people parking here and
Right.
going.
Right, had she
To other
had come back while the town was still open and did what you needed to do, and then went out to the car and said, why did I get that? And then we said, okay, well, you were observed not coming into town hall, but yes, I did,
Yeah.
like, there would not even be a question.
Yep.
But there was a question because we didn't have the second part answered.
Of course, and I think the officer was correct in issuing this
Okay.
summons with the information that he had.
Correct. And again, we unfortunately see many people,
Yeah.
just walk and continue walking.
Yep.
And so and we have to be a little bit more diligent in that lot, so.
All right, so I guess we need a motion to void the ticket issued on May 30th to Marnie Miller for parking in Town Hall, ostensibly not on Town Hall business, but in fact, an attempt for conduct Town Hall business. So do I have a motion to void?
I'll make a motion to void.
Katie?
Is this a
All
motion?
No, this is actually, I'm sorry, this is actually a vote.
Oh,
But
it's a
not
vote.
like a vote to uphold or void.
Okay, so a vote to void. That's what we're looking for. So all in favor? Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, okay. All right,
Thank you.
I will take care of it.
I appreciate it. I
Thank you for
appreciate
your
your time. And I'm sorry that I caused any problems.
Not at all.
Thank you.
You got time. Nice to see you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty. So our next item is an update on the paving of the town's parking lots from Stacy.
So Tiger had sent me over just a little update on what's going on. So the lumberyard and the locust lot have been repaved, restriped. They are all finished. It looks great. Looks great.
All amazing.
Okay, yes. So we are very, very happy with all of that. So we're progressing wonderfully. This is a great start. Morse Court, P and Z approved 8 to 24 to go with, the, new restriping and how you guys, voted on the recommendation on how the lot would be, even though we were losing some spaces, it was the best. So they approved that. However, there are still a couple of questions that they would like the Public Works to look into. They want a little bit more green space on the southeast corner and along Main Street. And they would also like one more handicap space along the curb line of Morse Court. So, and I am interpreting that as like where the 15-minute zone is. So that still has to be discussed with Sarah and Maria, so, but.
Who's they? I'm sorry. Who?
I'm, P and Z. That requested those additional items to be looked at. So, that's gonna be up for discussion with Sarah and Maria, but, Tiger's hoping paving will be done before the end of the summer. That is the best time, so I'm hoping that
Right.
as well. And last, train station lot, which is where the platform is. Board of Selectmen approved the contract, so they're working with the contract to get a good timing. So they're working on the schedule with the contractor. That is hopefully also going to be done before the end of the summer. Again,
Was it
that's timing.
decided that those spaces were gonna be made wider? Or no?
Which one's at the train
At the train
station?
station.
I don't believe so.
No.
I think it's just,
Curious.
just redoing that whole lot. So again, best time we're looking for before the end of the summer. So
Right.
that's basically the update on everything. We're moving and, it's really nice to see, so.
I do have some questions on the restriping of Morse. Can we have a quick conversation about that?
Sure, if I can answer them, absolutely, and if not, I will defer to next meeting and get Tiger here.
Okay. No, I mean, I totally get it, and I think that's great. I agree with the green space idea. I know he had sort of factored that in some of the planning. We talked about that, and we, you know, the intention was that it would ultimately get planted. So I'm in total agreement with that. He had indicated, I believe in the last presentation, that the handicap spots were going to stay as is and not, I don't think he was even planning to restripe them. I think they were going to just stay the way they were, which whether they get restriped or not, I think that's neither here nor there. There's adequate handicap parking there. And I am not necessarily opposed at all to the idea of putting, you know, a handicap spot against that 15-minute, you know, now 15 minutes spaces. We did discuss, however, that was going to remain unpainted, and discussed, in fact, that it was easier for it to remain unpainted because there are cars that are smaller, there are, you know, things that, you know, people kind of come in and out. And so I just, my concern is that by adding the handicap spot, obviously it will be well marked and adequately painted, but I just wonder if it is going to lead to any confusion. And basically I see a lot of those because I don't know how many there are there. It's got to be about 7.
Yeah, now, because I
No,
remember they're all along.
They're all along the mobile mark.
So, but
Isn't
with
that
the
enough
access
for
way,
how many spots we have there?
that again, that would be more of a question for Tiger. So unfortunately, I can't answer it. I do believe that lot, the amount of handicap spaces is adequate for the amount of spaces in that lot, because
Right.
they wouldn't, that's why they have that many spaces. It's only 4. But with the access ways and everything like that. So they have put an adequate amount of handicap spaces in all the parking lots, depending on the amount of spaces in the lots. That's how they go by. So I don't
So
know
it's P
why.
and Z who wants another?
That is,
I would
yes.
like to know why.
Okay, well, I can have Tiger, I don't.
Again, because those 15-minute spots are very popular.
Mhm.
We have adequate, in seemingly our opinion, spots along the gas station. So I would be curious to know their reason.
The other thought I have would be to perhaps we need to, resolve the whole Elm Street parking issue and understand what of those spaces are going to become the 15-minute spaces that we've all sort of talked about, that would be there for 15 minutes versus the paid spaces. And so sort of understanding how that's all going to shake out. And I think I'm also correct. Did they eliminated a handicap spot on Elm Street by putting the bump outs in? So
No.
I-
They didn't eliminate,
They moved it. didn't
they moved it across the street, if that's.
okay,
what
they
you're-
moved it, but I do remember there was some, some discussion
Yes.
that there was, one handicap.
There was one in front of, the movie theater, the Playhouse.
right.
And because of the barriers now, they moved
Right.
it across the street, but we didn't move.
So we didn't lose it, so that's good. So we're net zero, which is great. And then, the question is really, are we going to end up losing 15-minute space if we're not allocating more spaces on Elm Street when we make that conversion? So I think that-
just because that's sort of free form there and a handicap spot takes up a lot of space.
right. So I think maybe we're not opposed at all to the idea of a handicap spot. It's just a question of let's resolve where those 15-minute spots are going to, land on Elm Street. I think we talked in front of Duncan perhaps and Franco's and other spots where people tend to need a 15-minute spot. Before, and they can always go in and add a handicap spot to that area. So perhaps we just postpone it once we resolve the Elm Street configuration.
Is there a certain number of handicap spots that need to be had for, like a
Certain amount of
ratio?
parking, yes.
Yes, so I
there
guess
is.
I would like to know what that is,
Okay.
and also have the parking attendants ever observed that all the handicap spots are just always full, and therefore, even though it's higher than the normal ratio we would have, we need another spot there.
So what I will do is I will ask Tiger, if that's okay with you guys, to come to our next meeting. We can defer some of the, I'm gonna brief him on what you have discussed at this meeting. And then have him come back with an answer and an explanation on what's going on, because he would be the better person to give you all of the answers.
I'm good with that, and also I would want to know, is the additional green space, is that at the cost of a parking space? It sounds like it might be.
They might have to revisit some of the.
So I would want to know that too.
Okay. Perfect. So I will speak to him, let him know what your concerns are, what the questions are that you brought up here. And he will be very happy to come to the next meeting. I know he will. So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Stacy,
Yes.
I had one question about the railroad, not the railroad lot, the lumberyard lot.
Okay.
Did the number of spaces increase or decrease at all? Because I think they changed a couple of spaces, like the lines a little bit.
No, they followed the original pattern of the space markings. We had made a suggestion and talked to Tiger and about maybe moving where they put the mopeds and the motorcycles, that little area. And Tiger said that the layout that originally was done was the most effective layout in regards to how many spaces that lot would get. So they kept the same layout. So it's the same amount of spaces.
Cool.
Yep. So didn't lose any, didn't gain any, but didn't lose any. So.
Very
Thank you.
nice.
All right. So,
Any more discussion on the parking lot repaving?
all right, your answers and I will have the expert at our August 7th meeting, so not a problem.
Super. All right.
Community permits, do you want me to go?
So we'll
So,
move along to the well, not long awaited because we just discussed it, but
because I know, I'm. very
anxiously
disgusted. It was
awaited
yesterday.
decision
But
on our recommendation.
they accepted your recommendation. I shared with them exactly why you felt that way, and it was totally understood. So they approved it to keep the fees, the current fees, not raise anything, and so we're moving on with that. So it worked out, really well. And just gonna continue with that, and this will be part of my manager report. So now that everything has been approved, okay, I am moving forward with putting together the renewal applications. Ideally, I would love to get the applications out by the last week in July. Worst case scenario, first week in August.
Do they get emailed? or
So
mailed?
this is what's going to happen, because of our disastrous renewal period in December, where we did it strictly through email, and the return rate was only about 50% by email alone, okay? And I had to go, it was going to people's spam folders, people were not getting it, it did not work out very well. As opposed to in the past, when we would send out paper applications, I got about a 90% return rate.
Amazing. Even
So
in this day and
even though
age,
this
yeah.
day and age, even with technology, emails are not getting to people, they're getting to spam folders. I don't know what happened. So because of that, we're gonna send out paper applications, and I hope, working with my company, email notifications as well. So it's gonna be redundant. So if they don't get the email, then they will get a paper application. If they get a paper application and they get an email, they'll get both. So at least there's hope that we're gonna get, hopefully, everybody will get some type of notification that their renewal needs to be renewed.
In that renewal process, do we let them know that the cost is going to stay the same, that increase has been rejected or whatever?
No, usually there's really not a lot of room on an application to put all of that information out, so hopefully, with the meetings, with the information, I do put this in, the recommendations goes into the paper. Okay, so they will see it in the paper if they get the paper, so that'll go in there too, so. There is ways we get it out, but it won't be on the application.
Can we also send it to the New Canaanite? I don't know if that goes in every year.
Yes, to Mike always puts it, yes, but I'll definitely give it to Mike, sure.
Okay, cool.
So he can put it in.
One of the
Like I said, the papers, it gets posted, so, and on our website, it should be posted and everything like that as well.
Well, what about signage at the train stations? It's renewal period. Make sure to check your mail, or not that you want to create a lot of paper, but I believe I remember, you could even put flyers, when the.
I was just gonna suggest we can do something like flyers.
Is that allowed?
I don't know if it's allowed 100%, but
I had
actually-
there were flyers in the lumberyard lot a few weeks ago. and
Right.
I
But I do think you could put a sign there, a temporary signage that says it's renewal period, be sure to, check your mail and respond.
If they're not using the electronic sign, it might be a thought to put the electronic
Right.
sign there.
Yeah,
Renewals,
Yeah. Well, at least at the main train station, but then you would have to, you'd have to handle town.
Move it around.
I believe.
yeah.
But yeah, or even, something, some sort of they're inexpensive enough to produce those vinyl banners that are $35, but that might be a novel way to go. And then another thought, and I don't know if this is even possible, but you could even, like, when the conductor's pulling into Talmadge Hill and New Canaan, to make an announcement.
Oh, never thought about that. I would have to see who we can talk to, get a conductor to do that, but Yeah, I never thought of something like that.
Still on the 20.
But yeah, no, signs are
Well, at
great.
least on the peak trains anyway,
Yeah,
not,
signs are a great idea, even putting them up near the, pay machines or something like that, even on the platform if we can. We gotta be a little careful with that because that's state property, so we really can't do too much around there, but we can definitely do it in the lumberyard lot.
No, well,
So-
you only got a 50% response rate. How did you rectify that?
So what started happening is luckily people started, some people were on top of it and would call me.
Yeah.
And I would literally have to type in all of their information into a Word document and send it out to them. That was part of the application. And then even with that rate, there wasn't a good response. So the only other way to get everybody's attention was
Snail mail.
to get them
Oh.
and give them, saying, you don't have an active permit. And that started bringing everyone in. It was a lot of work to do. So I'm hoping, that with both of these methods, it would, it'll work. It'll be good, so.
Yeah, and even if you get the electric sign, it could say tickets will be issued after X date, so. Get
Right.
your,
Goes in, yep, yeah, so,
But
that's
the-
basically where we're at with that, and I'm hoping maybe to, really, we have only 95 people on our wait list, and we are still under what we were with active permits pre-COVID. So even if I went down all 95 people, we would still be under what we were, even pre-COVID. So there's a good chance we can exhaust the wait list. We can get more people in that lot. And then I can tell you, we exhausted the wait list, and if there's still spaces, it's up for discussion. So I think it's something that we're looking at early in this renewal period. I'll have to get through the renewals and slowly do it, but
I think
I'm looking at
discussion
it.
will also have to wait on the Elm Street decisions too, because that's gonna have a lot of, a domino effect on
Yeah.
all our lots.
so that's where we stand.
And
Other-
Stacey, I have one question for the renewals.
Yep.
The letters that you send out, are they like, it's all the exact same letter that you send to every single person?
Yes, so basically
Is
what the letter is going to be is it's going to be an application, and the application is going to allow them, it's going to have within that application their account information. So if they want to do it online, it's going to have a link so that they can do it online. So, or a lot of people do not want to pay that convenience fee, so then they can bring the application in along with the check. So it's
Got it.
really, I hate to use the word old fashioned, but it was like it used to be, and it was a really good response that way.
Is there any way to send out like personalized like letters to people saying like your, I don't know, type of car or license plate is up for renewal, like?
Well, that's
Please
exactly
renew
what the application is. It has the account holder's name, address, their vehicle information, and their special account number on how to renew. So it is individually
Okay,
addressed to each individual in each permit holder. Yeah, that's
Cool.
how they put together the application.
so on the
Actually,
paper,
the company does it, the vendor does it. So they're grabbing all of that information from their system and putting it on a Word document for me.
so on that paper mail, the email will have the link, but
Yeah.
you might want to ask if they could put a QR code on the paper. That
It
would,
starts getting a little tight on the application itself. And I mean, I could ask, I don't know if Passport deals with QR codes. But I can certainly ask for you. But what's going
could,
to happen is
could
it
we-
gets a little tight.
or you could just put a little Post-it.
yeah,
I'm sorry?
They could do it printed, like, how when the advertiser used to come with those little Post-its that were advertising something, you could do a pre-printed Post-it that could go onto the letter or the application renewal,
Okay.
they renew your application through this QR code, and it would take them to the same place that the link in the email would.
Okay, okay. I will definitely ask them if they could do that, so that might be a quick way for people to,
Also, maybe reference in it that you did receive an email with a link.
Yeah, if you didn't get your email, use this QR code, so, you know, whatever.
yeah, okay. Great, I will ask them. Hopefully they can do all of that.
Do you get a lot of people who want to still pay by check to avoid the,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get that, I
A lot.
do that too. Yeah.
To avoid the fee.
Yeah.
It is almost a $20 for the lumberyard, almost $20 convenience fee.
Oh,
It's a hefty
that's-
fee.
Yeah, oh, I thought it was
It's
like
not cheap.
$1.50
No,
or something.
no, it's not.
I think with the dog tag, it's like $1.50
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
It's not,
I
so
would
yes,
write a check for
there
that.
is, yeah, you and me both, yes. So that's why we gave them the option.
Younger people don't have checks.
I know, I know.
Kevin's laughing at us.
I was just gonna say, my kids, yeah, what's a check? So that's really it. So we're moving ahead with that.
Good, thank you.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So do we have any other business or discussions that we would like to address at this meeting? And if not, then I would ask for a vote to, or a motion to adjourn.
Your turn, Kevin.
I,
I said,
I,
Sounds
All
great. Thank you so very much. I will, again, give Tiger all of your thoughts, and I will ask him if he can join us at our August meeting, and I will update you on how renewals are going at that next meeting as well, and I will take all of your suggestions, thank you, and to find out if we can implement all,
Right.
some, hopefully all, so that'll be great.
Or, you know, and then just circling back on the Tiger thing, whether he needs to come to the next meeting, it's always great to hear from him, but, you know, maybe it's a question of, you know, getting a sense on the timing of what's going to happen on Elm Street. And, you know, just some feedback as to whether or not, does it make sense to do that additional handicapped on that 15-minute zone now, or wait until we figure out everything? So
Okay,
it may not require him to come.
Okay.
Just-
I'll ask him, you know, I'll ask him which works
Yeah.
better.
All right.
All
Super.
right. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the night.
Thanks. You
Yep.
too.
Good night.
See ya on the
Bye.
7th. All right. Bye-bye.